Greetings, I'm Bianca and welcome back to Binks Things. So, it has probably been over a year since I've done like a sit down talk to the camera video, but I've been really excited about my project TBR Zero and I wanted to share this on YouTube. I have been sharing some updates on Instagram and I will still continue to do that. I will leave a link down below if you'd like to follow me there. I'm way more active on Instagram than I am on YouTube these days. So let's talk a bit about the project itself. Project TBR Zero, I did not come up with the concept or the name at all. There are lots of other YouTubers who have been doing their own Project TBR Zero and other versions of this. I actually started with the idea after I watched Books and Lala do her Closet Unhaul series. I really loved that series and I've watched it twice now. It's really satisfying to watch. So she has a TBR closet and she did like a whole year-long series where she was reading books that she bought in the same month, and then she read like those same books through the month, or she had to unhaul them. It's really fun series. And then I also loved watching Drinking by My Shelf do her balancing the books at the end of every month, where she would talk about how many books she read and bought and unhauled, and then like balance her TBR and, you know, show everyone how many books she has left to read on her shelves. So that was where I kind of got introduced to the topic, and then I started doing a little bit of searching around, and it turns out that this Project TBR Zero thing already existed and a few other booktubers have been doing the same thing, where they are actively trying to get their physical TBR to be 0 books or under a certain amount of books. That is my goal as well. I have a lot of unread books. I am filming this a few months into it, but for this intro, I'm going to be talking as if it was a bit back in time. So I started this project off with 350 unread books on the shelves in my house. So that's not just my own books, that also includes my sister's books and my mom's books. Okay, so just saying that, it was just easier for me to sort through everything and just count all of the books that I haven't read yet, because there are quite a few of my mom and my sister's books that I want to read as well, and some of the books we share, so it was a bit of a grey area. So yes, 350 books. It was a lot, and I am someone who is fully capable of reading well within 100 to 200 books in a year. So I could pretty much finish this challenge within 2 years if I exclusively read books on these shelves and not as many ebooks and audiobooks as I have been doing in previous years. So I think it was kind of a combination of FOMO and just being overwhelmed with how many books exist and having access to them. When we were growing up, you know, the only way we'd really find out about books is if we walked to a bookstore and pick it up, or if someone we know in real life was talking about it. But now with content creators, we are just overwhelmed, honestly, with book recommendations, and that leads to this, owning 350 books that I haven't read yet, and then also reading probably hundreds of other books. On my Goodreads, in fact, since 2016, I have read over 900 books in total. So I read a lot. Okay, yeah, the exact number that I've read since 2016 is 955 books. So that's probably what, like 8 years worth. So that averages to just over 100 books per year. And my goal for this year is to read 120 books. I started off with being 100 books, but as the year has gone on, I've upped that goal a little bit. And there were a few years where I read over 200 books as well. So I know I am capable of reading all of those books, and it's not going to take me 300 years to do it. So that is the purpose of this new video series that I am hoping to have. So welcome, and thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Please let me know in the comments below if you have or have ever done a similar challenge and how it went for you. What did you do to prepare, etc.? I would really love to know. All I basically did to prepare was organize all the bookshelves, because when we moved, the books were very much disorganized, and I needed to have all the series back together and genres, and that made it a lot easier for my brain. And I added all the totals into a spreadsheet. I didn't list all of the books in a spreadsheet, like by no means do I have the energy to log 350 books. I have been sort of trying to do that on Notion, but have not succeeded, and it just keeps growing as well, so it's a bit redundant. But basically my spreadsheet just calculates my unread total per month, based on how many books I have read and unhauled and any new books that I have purchased. So that is what I did to start off with. And I also set myself some rules, which, spoiler alert, I have not actually stuck to all of them. But the original rules were, number 1, no buying new books that I haven't already read. That is the rule that I have broken. So I need to re-establish that rule, and to kind of help myself out with that. First up, I cancelled my Audible subscription. I do have a few books on there that I haven't finished listening to yet. Some of the books that I do have on Audible, I do also own physically, and those are more my books in other languages, but there are a few books in English that I have on there that I haven't finished reading yet. So I'll kind of work my way through that as I go. I still have my Scribed / Everand, which it's called now, still have that subscription. I am trying to use that for book club books, and also for some books that I already do own the physical copy of. So for Everand, you just pay a monthly subscription, and then you have access to as many books as you want, so you're not actually buying a book again. It's kind of like Netflix. So I feel better about using that software, and I have for many years, and I've got a lot of really great use out of it, so I'm keeping that. I have also deleted the Amazon app from my phone, which I think is going to be really helpful. I figured out that when I'm feeling really anxious, it's become a bit of a unhealthy coping mechanism for me to buy books to try to make myself feel better. And I don't know, I think kind of putting the books on the shelf, I was trying to give myself that same feeling of satisfaction of when you finish reading a book, but it's not the same thing at all. So yeah, no more online shopping for books. It's also actually really bad for the environment and for bookshops and supporting authors in general. So no more Amazon online shopping. I want to actually go to physical bookshops and buy books. I'm also going to try to stay away from Big W and Target, and because they also kind of do what Amazon does and buys like a lot of books in bulk, and then the authors don't earn as much money as they could. So yes, independent bookshops for when I want to buy books. That is kind of the first rule. Rule number 2, DNFs and unhauling is allowed. So I'm allowed to not finish books, and if I want to give them away, I can, and that will be deducted from the physical TBR. That is kind of the point as well with this. I want all of the books that I own to be only my favorite books, and I want to get rid of any books that I won't be rereading or books that don't bring me joy. So that is also part of the challenge as I go through everything. Then rule number 3 is that ebooks cannot outnumber physical books each month. So in the past, my digital books were the leader by far. For last year, I know for a fact I was reading a lot more ebooks than physical books that I owned. It is easier for me to read on my Kindle, but I also can source the books that I physically own on my Kindle. So I like to do that. It's just easier for me to read because of my lifestyle. I'm not home very often. I'm either at work or at my partner's house on weekends. So Kindle is my absolute best friend currently, and since I've bought it really. And then rule number 4 is share my progress on Instagram stories to keep myself accountable. And that has been really good. I've noticed that when I have been sharing my progress there, I am holding myself accountable to the promises I have made. I'm telling everybody. My partner is also quite supportive of this, since he thinks I own too many things. So yes, definitely want to do that, and I think I might add sharing my progress on YouTube. Recently, I have been looking for more people on YouTube to follow in regards to journeys like this, challenges like Project TBR Zero, and I found one person whose channel I'm absolutely loving. I think her name is Julianne. I'll link her stuff down below and all the other people I've mentioned as well. She's kind of revamped her whole channel to just be about Project TBR Zero, and she's, I think, 8 months into her journey right now. I'm only like up to month 2 with watching her updates, but it's been really fun. She's also been doing like a monthly vlog and then like a planning update for what she's going to do for the next month. I probably won't be able to vlog. I don't have enough time or quiet around me to be able to vlog. This is a very rare occurrence, so taking full advantage of it. That is my goal, to read 350 books. I will be posting updates, maybe monthly or quarterly. I haven't totally decided yet. I'll see maybe after I finish this video. And yeah, thank you so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, all the things, you know, and follow me on Instagram. Like I said, I'm way more active on there. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Keep thinking, Inklings. Bye.